Hello, everybody. Today we are going to talk something astronomy. Okay, what is astronomy? Astronomy is a kind of study of stars, galaxies, sun, moon, earth, the solar systems, and other things. Okay, so what do you mean by solar system? What do you mean by sun? What do you mean by earth, moon, and other things? Each one is given. There are heavenly objects. Okay, heavenly objects are given names. Each names are classified based on what kind of things they form. Okay, so these are the things which are called the heavenly bodies, and uh, the biggest thing known is called what we live in. It's called a universe. Okay, the heavenly bodies are move around in what is called a free space. Free space is a place where there is nothing in there except it's a kind of vacuum kind of thing which is there. Okay, so this is just for beginners who want to know something about astronomy, astrology, and space technology and other things. Okay, we'll be going into details of space technology and other things later. But you have to know something when you're doing a space technology. If you don't know what is the distance of the Earth from the moon or from the sun to the Earth and things like that, it's going to be very difficult. Something like when you're going on a car, you want to do a you have to know how much distance it is there, how much distance the Madras is, how much distance Delhi is, or how much distance America is, and things like that, and which direction it is, and these kinds of things you have to know basically. Without that, you cannot know, do science. You can't be a kind of like space technologies and other things. Okay, what is it? What does space contain and things like that. So those things you have to know the basics of those things. Okay, that is why we are going into this kind of lectures. Okay, these are few preliminary lectures which will help you in identifying what is meant by space technology and things like how to develop machines for people who have already have background on machine manufacturing and things like manufacturing for space technology, like rocket technology and other things. They know the basics, but they still have to know these kind of things: how, where it is located, how it's located, and where Earth is, where is Moon is, and things like how much is the distance. And because distance calculations, they have a separate department for all those things, but still, you have to know the basics before you do any kind of space technology designs. So these are the basic things what are in there. You have to know on how to design a space technology for that. Okay, that is the kind of thing. Okay, so today we are going to see some of the things. Okay, we have what is called a Earth. Earth is the place where we live in. Okay, so it is a kind of ground kind of thing. It is a round, it's spherical ball kind of structures. Usually, heavenly bodies are mostly spherical kind of balls floating around in free space. Okay, so that is the kind of system that is there outside. If we go and see the space, if we go into space and see, look at the things, you will see all spherical balls moving around in different directions, making circular or elliptical orbits or other things. Okay, this is the kind of things you will see when you go into space and see, look at things, what is there, and things like that. Okay, you cannot see from Earth. Some of the things you can see from Earth, but you won't know because you are on the Earth. You are spinning. You cannot see all the things. How usually the solar system is and how far it is and things like that. Okay, so for that you have to know what are the things. Our the Earth is where we live in, and sun is the thing which is the nearest star. Okay, sun is the nearest star, which is about a million kilometers, or 143 billion kilometers. Okay, that is of 143 billion kilometers. Okay, 143 billion kilometers from the sun. A billion means 10 power 6. Okay, 10 power 6 kilometers. Okay, so 143 billion means is 10 power almost like 9 or 10. Okay, 10 power 10 kilometers. Okay, approximately you take this 10 power 10 kilometers. Okay, uh, so 10 power 9 kilometers you can take. 10 power 9 kilometers is approximately the distance, from the sun to the earth. Okay, that is the distance of the earth. That distance is called, what is called a one astronomical unit. That's called them scientifically, because the distance calculus you can give foot, you can measure it in kilometers, you can measure it in meters and things like that. But meter calculation is very difficult because the distances are extremely huge. So relative to that, you define distances. Okay, you cannot define distances, because if it is small things like 1 millimeter, and comparatively to for uh, for 10 foot thing, 1 millimeter is very low level of measurement. So that is why we make it as a kind of foot or something like that, or sometimes we can make it as a meter and do the calculations. That is why we make it as one astronomical unit. One astronomical unit is the distance between the sun and the earth, the place we live in, and the nearest star. Okay, the place we live in, and to the distance between the place we live in and to the nearest star. The nearest star is called the sun. Okay, the sun. Okay, early morning you wake up, you see the thing sun coming up. Okay, that is called the sun. Okay, the place where you are standing, that is called the earth. Okay, that is called the earth. Earth is the planet. There are different kinds of things they have given to the heavenly objects. Okay, based on classifications. Classifications means size classifications, rotational classifications, and other things. Okay, so based on that, they have classified these heavenly objects into different kinds of objects. Classification means what? Ordering, or kind of like what group it belongs to. That is called classifications. Classification means, don't think the classification. No, what do you mean by class? Class means something else, something like that. Don't have the vague idea. Classification means grouping of things into similar objects to a certain, giving a certain name to it. It is called a classing of this thing. Okay, that is why they are classified or grouped together and given a name. Okay, star means something bright in the heavenly body. So that is why it is called a star. Okay, when you go in and walk in the night, you will be seeing spots, all twinkling stars all around. Okay, billions and billions of stars you can see. You can see 10 stars, 20 stars on one side, 50 stars on the other side, and it keeps on counting. You can just keep on counting. There will be billions of stars in the sky. Okay, which you can't count. Okay, for now, those are called stars. First, you have to know what are stars. Stars are something like sun. Okay, something like sun is called a star. Okay, there are these something like a bulb. Okay, so you have different kinds of bulbs. Okay, if you take the bulb very to a distant place, you will see that it is a kind of spot. Okay, because the distance is extremely huge, you don't. It is actually it's a bulb which is close by. You can see the brightness. If it is very far, you cannot see the brightness. You see just a spot. Like that only you have to find out these things. Okay, the extremely far distances we are calculating. That is why we have things extremely at a distant places. Okay, so the basic idea of heavenly objects is a star. Okay, that is a basic kind of things. Okay, now we have grouping. Now how we do grouping? First thing, you have our earth, and you have a star, nearby star, which is called the sun, and that is why we call it as a solar system. Solar system means where our earth and sun is there, and the nearby objects are called the solar system. So we have about 9 planets. So first we saw star, then we are seeing what is called a planet. Planets are things which go around a star, particular star. Okay, those are called planets. Okay, so solar system means solar. Solar means sun, something to do with sun. So that is why it's called solar. Solar system means something related to sun and the nearby objects. That is why it is called a solar system. System means it's a group of objects working on a particular group of things or particular kind of functions, that is called a system. System is basically a group of the things doing a particular kind of work or something like that. Okay, that is called a system. System means a group of objects. Okay, so which are doing some kind of operation or work. Okay, that is a solar system means a sun related operating kind of environment where you have different kinds of planets going on. So planets are classified as things which go around the sun. Those are the kinds of things which are called planets, and they have specific sizes and other things. Okay, in order to remember certain things, you have to know very clearly. Okay, first thing, you take a football. Okay, so if you take the football is the size of the sun. Okay, you have to do comparative study because we cannot go into actual study and you cannot understand the whole thing. So if you take a football, that is the size of the sun. Now what will be the size of the earth? The size of the earth will be just like a table tennis ball. Table tennis ball is about 1 inch. Okay, 1 inch. So you take a football, okay, or you can take a basketball, and if you take a small tennis ball, then that is the size comparison of our sun to the earth. Okay, okay, that is almost the thing. Or you take a small marble ball, or you take a ball dress, or you take another thing. So those are the comparative sizes of the planets to the sun. Okay, so if you take a basketball or a football or something like that, and you take small things like tennis ball is quite huge, but smaller balls like table tennis ball, and you have marble kinds of things, marble balls or ball dress and things like that. Those kinds of the things are the comparative sizes. Okay, now if you put the football or the basketball on one side of your building. Okay, and you have three rooms. Okay, three rooms which are about 10 feet 10 feet each. Okay, three rooms which are 10 feet, that is the size. And if you put the ball at one end and if you see the other end, that is the size of the solar system. Okay, that is the size of the solar system. That is from the end of end of the sun to the last planet. Okay, how many planets are there? There are about 9 planets. Okay, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. Okay, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. Okay, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. Okay, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. Okay, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. Okay, so these 9 planets you have to know the name. Okay, very clearly. So without knowing the name, you cannot do the things. Okay, why you have to know the 10 planets name? Because if you're going into space technology, if you don't know where to land your plane, then it is very difficult, or your rocket. So it is very difficult. So you have to know the basic. There are about 10 planets revolving around the sun. Okay, it is going on an elliptical orbit, elliptical or near circular orbits. Okay, what are orbits? Orbits are things which are the paths taken by the planet systems around the sun. Okay, so each planet is moving around the sun on a specific kind of path. Okay, how it is moving it is like a spindle. You put a ball at the end of a small ball at the end of a string, and you start swinging it. So when you swing it, it takes a circular kind of orbit or an elliptical kind of orbit. That is the same way the earth is moving around the sun on an elliptical orbit and is swinging all around. Okay, that is the basic thing. Okay, mostly these things are elliptical or circular. Okay, circular, you have seen circular things going on a particular thing. Like if you see if you take if you take a ring or roses or something like that, if you go to a mall or something like that, you see things where you have rides which are going around and around tea saucepan kind of things where you sit and it goes around and center place. Okay, so the sun says is the center of the solar system. Okay, and all other things go around the solar systems on a near circular or elliptical orbit. Now each planet themselves are spinning around in, in a specific direction and other things. Okay, so those details you have to go and find out. Now this is the basic things which you have to know, because once you go into astronomy you won't know certain things, and you go into space technology and if you don't know how much is the distance, so the basic things you have to know: what is the sun, what is the star. Star means something similar to a sun, which are distant, which are quite far from the different places. Okay, they are just floating around balls kind of things. And star is something which is bright. Bright means it is burning. Okay, some kind of burning or nuclear reaction is going on. That is why it is called a star. Other things they don't burn because they don't have enough mass to burn. Okay, you have to have a certain amount of mass to burn in the free space. Okay, for burning in free space you have to have enough mass. Okay, so the sun is the size of the mass which is approximately required to burn to become a star. Okay, all other things are smaller things, that is why they don't burn. Okay, like earth doesn't burn because the size is not good enough for to become a star. Okay, so those things don't become a star, and that is why they don't have. Okay, now first we are going into astronomical distance. So one astronomical unit is the distance between the star, distance between the sun and the earth. Okay, now I told you how far is the solar system. So you take a football, put it in front of your home, and you take 3 rooms as a corridor. Okay, 3 rooms as a corridor with this 10 foot, 10 foot, 10 foot away. Okay, if you take 3 rooms, okay, that is the distance of the solar system. That is the radius of the solar system. Okay, that is approximately the distance. So, and if we take the football and place a small tennis ball around 1 foot, that is the distance of the earth. Okay, earth from the sun. Okay, if we take a tennis ball or basketball or a racquetball or something like that which is of bigger size, around the size of a football or a basketball, and you put a small table tennis ball around 1 foot from the football, then that is the size, that is the distance of our distance of the distance of the uh, uh, our earth from the sun. Okay, so which is around 1 foot. Say if we take 1 foot, then you have about how many foots? 1,000 foots. Okay, you can compare 1,000 foot. 1,000 foot is almost like a, you know, 1 foot to 1,000 foot is like 1,000 foot is like if you take 50 feet as one block. Okay, you have 3 blocks or 4 blocks. Okay, that is the distance of the solar system. Okay, so one end of the road to the other end of the road, or half of the road. Okay, that is the kind of distance of the end of our solar system. Within that, there are small balls floating around, which are just like small speckles kind of things. Those are called the planets. Okay, so basically, you have to know what is a sun, star. Then you have what is called a solar system. Then you have what is called a galaxy. A group of stars is called a galaxy. Okay, a galaxy has got a group of stars form what are called galaxies. Okay, then a group of galaxies form what are called black holes and other things. Okay, group of galaxies or a cluster of galaxies or very close galaxies form what are called black holes and things like that. Okay, so this is the kind of ordering. So you have satellite means a moon is a one of, they call it moon. Okay, if something goes around one of the planets, a smaller size object which goes around a around a planet, then it is called a moon. Okay, the Earth has one of the moons. Mars has about three moons. Those are called Mars moons. Okay, so they are called the moons because they go around the planets. They don't. They usually go around the sun also, but they go around the planet also. So that is why they are called moons. Okay, so there are asteroids. Asteroids are still smaller things. Okay, so first you have asteroids, then you have they are like dust. Okay, dust of the solar system. Okay, they are called the asteroids. Then you have the next level of classification is what is called a moon. Moon is the thing which goes around the sun and earth, goes around the planets, and also goes around the sun. Okay, these are called moons. Then you have planets. From planets you go into sun-like structures which are called stars, and then higher objects are called they form a cluster grouping what is called a galaxy, and from that cluster if they group together on a very dense area, that is called a black hole. Okay, this level of understanding you should know. What is a black hole, what is a galaxy, what is a solar system, what is a planet, what is a moon, what is a satellite or satellite. Moon is called also called satellite of the planet. Okay, so moon, what is a satellite? Then you have to know what is an asteroid. Okay, what is an asteroid belt? A group of asteroids is called an asteroid belt. They form what is called a belt-like system. So still further thing lower down is called asteroid dust. Okay, that is the final thing. Final thing will be asteroid dust, asteroids. Then you have satellites, and then you have moons. Then you have planets. Then you have stars. Then you have galaxies. Then you have black holes. Okay, cluster of things are called black holes. So this is the kind of ordering that goes on. Okay, now if you want to do the distance comparison, you have to what is called one astronomical unit is the sun to our earth. So that is around 1 foot. Okay, then 1,000 foot. If we take 1,000 foot is how much? 1 foot is if it's one end of the building. So usually the buildings are around 500 foot. 500 foot is about 4 rooms or 5 rooms. Okay, so 1,000 foot is around 10 rooms. 10 rooms is around 1,000 foot. Okay, now if you take 20 rooms, that will be the size of the solar system. So if you take 20 rooms of size 10 foot, and if you take 1 football, and you take one tennis ball and place the distance around 1 foot, then that is the kind of ordering that is there. Okay, now Mercury will be zero point 0.5. Okay, 0.5 foot. Okay, now Venus will be around 0.7. Okay, then Earth is 1. Okay, 1 astronomical unit. Mercury, Venus, Earth. Mars will be around 2, approximately around 2 or 2.5. Okay, and Jupiter will be around 7. Okay, 7 astronomical, around approximately around 7 or 6 astronomical units, 5 or 6. Okay, then Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn will be around 1.7 astronomical units, 1.5 astronomical units, then 6 astronomical units, 1.8 astronomical units, then finally you have 2 astronomical units, approximately 2 astronomical units. Okay, so that around not 2 astronomical, 2000 astronomical units. Okay, that is the distance. 1 astronomical unit is the distance between the sun and star, and 2000 astronomical units will be the distance of the solar system. So if you want, so what is the size of the solar system in light years? What is the size of the distance of the solar system? What is the size and distance of the solar system? If you want to see, you can see. So this would be around 1 million miles, 93 million miles, or 4 billion kilometers or 3 billion miles, or in astronomical unit it's around 2000 astronomical units. Okay, you have to know one astronomical unit is distance between the earth and the thing, so you have to know 2000 astronomical units. Okay, so 1 to 2000, that is the distance of the solar system. Okay, now if you go into billion miles, trillion miles and all, you have, so one is called a million miles. Okay, what is this? Approximately 100 million miles, or 1.5 million kilometers, or 2 million kilometers. So first you have to know the distance between the sun and the star, sun and our so and earth. Then that distance is around 2 million kilometers. 2, okay, 2 million kilometers. Then 2000 million kilometers is the distance of the solar system. Within this 2 to 2000, you have the planet, objects, everything. Okay, so also 1.5 million kilometers is Mercury. Then Venus is around 3 million kilometers. Ours is around 2 million kilometers, or 4.5 million kilometers. Now the next planet is around 700 million kilometers, which is Jupiter. Saturn will be, once you have million, then you have billions coming in. So from Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, up to Jupiter you have million kilometers. Okay, then beyond that it will be billion kilometers. So Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars will have million kilometers. Jupiter will have, Jupiter also will have million kilometers. So Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. Saturn will be in billion kilometers. So we saw million kilometers and then billion kilometers. Okay, so the things which are above Jupiter are all billion kilometers. The things which are below Jupiter's are all million kilometers. So that is around 150, 350, 700 million kilometers. So they are all 700, 200, 500, 400 and things like that. Those kind of million kilometers. And the things beyond that is called billion kilometers, which is around 3 billion kilometers, 4 billion kilometers, 5 billion kilometers, 100. So the maximum number of billion kilometers is around, Pluto is around 4 billion kilometers, or four, not 4, around 6 billion kilometers. 6 billion kilometers. Okay, so that will be the thing. Okay, so we saw one astronomical unit, and total size of the solar system is around 2000. So 1 to 2000, that is the ratio, okay, approximately. So that is the things you have to learn. So once you are done with that, this is the kind of scaling you have to know first. What are the basic things? What is an astronomical unit? Astronomical unit is the distance of the Earth to the Sun, which is around 1.5, 150 million kilometers. Okay, 150 million kilometers. Okay, that is one astronomical unit. Why we have that size? That is the comparison. Now if you take, there is another unit which they use, okay, for stars and other things. For stars and other things, it is called, what is called a light year. Okay, what is the number of light years? It's called one astronomical unit, approximately around 100 light. One light year is equal to 100 astronomical units. Okay, approximately, or 60 to 70 astronomical units. Okay, so one light year is 70 astronomical units approximately. So stars are usually calculated in astronomical units. Within planets and nearby objects, you use what is called astronomical units. Once you cross stars, the distance between stars are calculated usually in light years. So There's about 80 light years, 80 astronomical units. Around 100 astronomical units is called 1 light year. 50 astronomical unit is called 1 light year. Okay, 50 or 60. 60 astronomical unit is called a 1 light year. So the nearest star, you have to know at least the 10 nearest stars. Okay, if you don't know the 10 nearest stars, how will you know what is the next star? Okay, that is why you have to know the number of size comparison of 10 nearest stars of the size of the solar system. Planet size comparison chart. Planets in the solar system are, how many planets in the solar system? Okay, the solar system size. Okay. Okay, now we go into what are the different kinds of stars and other things. Okay, we don't want to do that. So now we go back and then you have what is the size of the solar system, how large is the solar system, you have to know, and things like that. Okay, now we have done all these things. Now nearest star to the solar system. So we are going into nearest star to the solar system. So I told you we have to measure only in light years. Okay. So the first the planets and other things, we use what is called one astronomical unit. One astronomical unit is the distance between the sun and the earth. Okay. Now between stars, okay, or sun-like objects, you are going to use what is called a light year. Okay. So one light year is the distance between approximately around 70 astronomical units, and that 70 astronomical units, now the nearest star is around 4.2 light years. Okay, 4.2 light years. Okay, there are about 10 nearest, we have to first know the first 10 nearest stars. Okay, 10 nearest, the first 10 nearest stars will be around, what are the 10 nearest stars? Like our solar system, we saw Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. Like that, you have to know the first 10 kind of stars. Okay, what are the nearest stars? Okay, so the first nearest star is called the Proxima Centauri. Okay, Proxima Centauri, which is around 4.5 light years. Okay, Proxima Centauri is the nearest thing, which is called a Proxima Centauri, which has got about one star, which is around 4.5 light years. Then Alpha Centauri. Okay, then Alpha Centauri A. Then you have Alpha Centauri B. Then Galaxy, our Cirrus, kind of another system. Okay, Bernard star. Okay, Bernard star sun. Okay, now the 10 closest stars to Earth. Okay, 10 top 10 nearest stars to Earth. Okay, uh, so the first 10 stars, they're closest to our solar system. It is there. Okay, it's not given here. Okay, let's go back. What star is close to Earth? So you have to know the first 10 stars close to the system. Okay, then you have the star, what is called a Wolf 359, Cirrus A, then Landine, then Epsilon, then Captain Star. Okay, so these are the things: Captain Star, Epsilon, Lalande, Cirrus A, then Wolf. Okay, then Sun, then you have Bernard Star, then Sirius, then Alpha Centauri, A, Alpha Centauri B, and Proxima Centauri. So the nearest thing is Proxima Centauri, Alpha Centauri A, Alpha Centauri B, Sirius, Bernard Star, Sun, Wolf, Cirrus A, Lalande, then Epsilon, then captains. Okay, captain stars. So these are the 10 stars near to our solar system. Okay, a group of stars is called what is called a galaxy. The nearest galaxy is somewhere around, say, a group of stars can form a structure which is called a Sirius. Sirius is this group of star which is part of the bigger one, what is called a galaxy. Okay, Sirius is one of the systems which we live in. Okay, one of the branches of the solar systems, one of the branches of the galaxies. That is called, it's called Sirius, and one of the branches we live in, and that is called a Sirius kind of star cluster. And galaxy is called, our galaxy is called the Milky Way. Okay, galaxy means group of stars. There's a huge group of star clusters which we call as a galaxy. Within the galaxy we are in one of the branch which is called a Sirius. Okay, if you see the star structure which is called a Sirius star structure, that is where we live in. From the galaxy there are about billions of stars. From the billions of stars, that is called a galaxy, which is called the Milky Way galaxy. Then you have what is called the Sirius, which is part of the star cluster, which is called the Sirius, on which we live in. So that star clusters is around about 10,000 or 50,000 stars. From that star, we have about 10 stars, which are the nearest thing, which are called the Proxima, Alpha Centauri A, Alpha Centauri B, and things like that. Alpha Centauri B, Bernard star, Wolf star, Sirius star, Epsilon star, and Kepler star. Okay, so these are the 10 nearest stars. And then we have, from the nearest star we have the sun, and from the sun we have our solar systems, and from the solar systems we have our earth, planets, and earth, that is called the our earth, or the, you know, the nearest star system to the solar system. Okay, so that is all for today. So first you have to know what is the classification, how to find out, how to identify, and things like that. Okay, so how to identify in which part of the cloud which we live, so that you have to go outside one night and then find out where our which part of the things which we are at. So Sirius is one branch of the Milky Way galaxy, so that where we live in. So if we go outside, you can see a star cluster which is on which we live in. Okay, like a leaf on a branch. Okay, on a branch on a tree. Okay, on a branch on it. The entire tree is like a Milky Way galaxy. Then we are in one of the branch. That branch is called Sirius structure, Sirius star cluster, and that star structure you can go out and see where on a clear moon. Sometimes I'll show you when I go out and show you using our other video systems. Okay, that is all for today. So basic things you understood, what are the things, or what are the distances and things like that. That's all for today.